Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to a Mercury retrograde tarot reading. This is going to be a random Mercury retrograde tarot reading. This could be about travel. This could be about love, your finances, that investment, that home you're trying to buy. I don't know what it is yet until we shuffle the cards out here. So we're just going to let the cards kind of figure this one out. Ultimately, what we're asking, though, is what are you going to be dealing with during this Mercury retrograde? Like, what are you focusing on? And I know there are many Scorpios out there who will each have their own thing to focus on. So this is not a reading that is going to be for everybody because this is random. But whoever this is for, I hope it makes it to you. Not sure who you are, but I hope it makes it to you. All right, if you're okay with that, let's get into it using the Flow Tarot deck. Okay, so the first thing that's coming to my mind here, your reading is, it's interesting. There's a part of me that feels like it could be a scattered reading, but the more that I kind of look at these cards here, the more I'm zoning in on a particular energy. Two things are coming out. First, I want to talk about this card here. This is the Nine of Cups. It's in the reversal. Beautiful depiction. It's the idea, in the Flow Tarot deck, it's called After the Storm. But in traditional tarot, the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. In the reversal position, though, there's a few, again, varied or scattered meanings to the Nine of Cups. Arthur Edward Waite mentions one like loyalty, someone coming together and asserting their position of loyalty towards you. But in the same token, the Nine of Cups can also refer to mistakes, mistakes that occur. And so it's a wide variety. That's the beautiful thing about how Arthur Edward Waite had created his tarot deck in 1909 or 1910 or so. He published The Pictorial Key to the Tarot, a book with the instructions, and he decided not just to leave his own instructions. He actually took a variety of tarot authors like Levi and Papoose, and he incorporated all of their meanings into his instruction booklet so that you could choose and understand more fully the varying different interpretations. So I'm shuffling here. Ooh, really? I'm shuffling here because I want to know, are you going to a position of loyalty or are you going to a position of mistake? Or did someone make a mistake? I'm going to tell you what, if someone made a mistake, you're not going to have to worry about it because that is loyalty. So it's basically, when I do private readings, sometimes people ask me to do yes or no readings. Like, yes, is something good going to happen? No, is, something negative, yada, yada, yada. So I kind of wanted to shuffle out a card here, and I want to see if the card that I get for clarification on the Nine of Cups, is it going to be a card that shows mistake? Or is it going to be a card that shows loyalty? You could also theorize, is it going to be a card that's completely unrelated and it's like, oh, it's a card of, ghosting or something. Nope, we got the card of loyalty. 10 of Pentacles, or the 10 of Wands, the card of the Oasis in the Flow Tarot deck. The 10 of Pentacles is the depiction of people coming together. It's known as the card of the two houses. Two houses that join together. And why do they join together? Because it's the ultimate depiction of loyalty and stability and security. So you have the Nine of Cups mimicking that journey and energy of people coming together in your reading. Very interesting. Now, I think in particular, the person that this is talking about, there's two facets that I find fascinating. One is that we have the Knight of Waves, which is the Knight of Wands. In the reversal, that's the card of emigration, when you get out of something. In modern tarot, people have taken this card of emigration and immigration and turned it in like love and relationship readings into a card of somebody who's coming in and out of your life. And when it's in the reversal position, again, like the concept of emigration, it is someone who has come out of your life at some point. And I do believe that if you've had someone who went out of your life, that person's coming back around because you have the two houses coming together now. Now, this person, I think, likely left your life at some point because with the Fool card in the reversal, they were afraid of things. There was some kind of underlying fear that was allowing them to not follow their heart and not listen to their intuition. All it took was a single drop of fear to come in, and this person got flabbergasted, and they decided to leave out of the circumstance. And that will oftentimes happen when a person is not listening to their heart. They're listening to that fear. The depiction, if you know anything about the traditional tarot, of the Fool card is somebody who is stepping this on this one. It's a water droplet, but again, traditional tarot, it's a gentleman who's about to walk off a cliff. You can't see what's going on in the bottom of the card, but the key to that card is the viewer, as we look at the card, if you're doing a tarot reading, as we look at that traditional card, we think it's a cliff, but it's actually a path. Right below the image, if there was another section below the card, it would surely be the section where we see that there is actually stepping stones. But that's the unique dynamic of how the tarot was created. It's important to understand what is symbolically on a card, but also what is symbolically not on the card is just as important sometimes as what is depicted on it. Now, that brings me into the next section. Remember, I said you have these fours sitting here, and over 100 years ago, Arthur Edward Waite, when he, again, interpreted and gave us the beautiful understanding of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he allowed us to understand what happens when you have clarification cards, and especially when those clarification cards are two of the same numbering systems. In this case, you have two fours. You have the Four of what would be Pentacles, otherwise known as the Four of Wands right here, and the Four of Snow, which would be the Four of Swords. If you have two fours and both of them are in the upright, which you did not get, you got one in the upright, one in the reversal, but I'll get to that in a moment. When two of them are in the upright, you wouldn't believe it, but it's the card of insomnia. It's when somebody has difficulty sleeping at night. I know, unique, right? Everybody thinks that tarot is always just about emotions and creativity. No, there's some really specific dynamics that come out of these cards. Insomnia, when you have two fours in the upright. When you have two fours in the reversal, it's disputes. Difficulties through like arguments and actual disputes that happen. Now you have one in the upright and one in the reversal, so we can take those two meanings of staying up at night and insomniatic energy and merge it with the idea of disputes, and we suddenly learn why it is that one of you cannot sleep at night. Because there was some kind of a dispute, and I'm assuming the dispute is the reason why this person took off. Because again, we have the card of emigration. Somebody who was not following their heart, they were following their fear, and it's likely because they were disagreeing with something. Now, some of you actually went through a dispute or an argument, but others of you, you may not even know that this person was had a difficulty or had some kind of a what's that word that I just used? Like a discrepancy or a disagreement with something that you were doing. Or something that they thought, or you know what I mean? It's like it's almost in their mind a little bit with this, I feel like, because the High Priestess is here, and the High Priestess is the card of things that are hidden, that you don't see, beyond the veil. So this person, if this person left your life, you may not have known why. And you know what? The dispute might not have been yours either. It might not have been a disagreement with you. There could have been some kind of like a value disagreement that they were dealing with. It could have related to you a little bit, but it may have to do with money, I'll be honest. You know why? Again, not commonly known. First off, the four, let's look at these fours again, but now let's look at them separately. The Four of Wands is the equivalent of the Four of Pentacles. And what is the Four of Pentacles if not a man who is sitting there guarding all of his money to high hell? He's like, you're not touching my money. He's got a coin in his hand, a coin on his head, a coin under his feet, and he's gripping onto this money for dear life. It's the idea of somebody who's not able to let go, but it's also somebody who's really over-focused on finances, career, household matters, and a value of something that they don't want to let go of. So because a pentacle is what you value, it could be that someone was dealing with money matters. Maybe that's what they value, but we all value different things. So a pentacle can show up in someone's life in varying ways. For my neighbor, he values cars. That's his pentacle. For my other neighbor, she values her son and her children. So that's her pentacle. So again, a pentacle is what you value. So this person could have been dealing with some kind of a financial situation, and so they backed off of dealing with you because they had to deal with that, or their value system was a disagreement between like your value system and their value system. It's almost like there was some kind of an inability to merge the two value systems. I just have to charge my phone here for 1 second. Let me just plug in my phone. Okay, there we go. So the other four, though, that we have here, and again, not so well known, is the Four of Swords in the reversal position. And the reason why it's what I'm about to say is not so known is because, or is not so well known, is because most people look at the Four of Swords and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a card of healing. Oh, it's about rest, relaxation. It's a picture of a woman laying down in a bed. It's a picture of a cemetery stone, the ultimate format of rest. But in the reversal, it's connected to economy. That's a card of economy and especially of avarice. So these two fours in this position specifically have to do with somebody who's building up money in an economical way. Now, if this is about somebody who walked away from something, they did it because they were dealing with a lifestyle issue, and they are at some point coming back to you in the future position here. But again, with the High Priestess card, it may not happen in the Mercury retrograde. It may happen afterwards, since that is the energy of things that are hidden still. But for others of you, if it's not a person that actually walked away from you, you maybe walked away from something. Maybe it was you who was not following your heart because there was some kind of a previous situation of lifestyle and finances that got in the way. And then in the future, you've got the best card, that 10 of Pentacles. Like, you are going onwards to good energy in the future position. Remember, the 9 of Cups, I mentioned briefly, it's the card of wish fulfillment. That's why this picture looks so lovely. This isn't a tornado. It's not a picture of a flood. It's a picture of a nice, clearing sky. That's why it's called After the Storm. It's not about you going on to difficulties. This is more like you transitioning through the Mercury retrograde, and on the other side of the Mercury retrograde, you're going to find some very abundant energy, some very peaceful energy. And again, at the beginning of this, I said that the 9 of Cups, or the 9 of Clouds, is the card of wish fulfillment. You, my dear, have a beautiful wish fulfillment coming in the future. Now, I had mentioned if the idea of loyalty. Again, if it's not somebody who walked away from you and is joining up with you, then you walked away from some previous situation. Maybe it was a project, a goal, a dream that you had. It could very well be that you are choosing to become loyal and committed to becoming that next version of you, to getting to that place, to buying that house. You're committing to something. Essentially, again, it's the card of two homes or two houses that come together. And just like a value system, like a pentacle, is not always just money, commitment works the same thing. We're not always just committing to people. Sometimes we commit to our time. Sometimes we commit or to the efforts that we put in our time. Sometimes we commit to a new business. Sometimes we commit to, 5 years of our life to a new education that we're doing, that new course that we're taking. If you have some kind of new thing you're committing to, have at it. 10 of Pentacles is beautiful energy. It's a green light. It's the go signal. Go commit to that thing. And if it's a person coming into your life, I would honestly, I would argue in this kind of a tarot reading that you should commit to that person. It's a gift. That's why you have the card of the gift along with the card of wish fulfillment and stability and security. Fascinating energy, guys. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave you off with that. And you can join me if you'd like in my TikTok, where I am going to be uploading more Mercury retrograde tarot readings. Or, of course, if you'd like a private reading, you can always feel free to get a hold of me at the link in my bio if you like my style of tarot reading and the historical energy that I like to discuss and dig into here. Thank you very much for that, and ciao for now.